Welcome to History Lesson 77. Today we're going to be talking about some American heroes that we are going to learn about. American heroes have helped make this country great. David Crockett and Sam Houston fought for the United States against Mexico, but not in the same battles. One of the men we recognize because he became a legend. You'll probably recognize the song that was written about him. All right, if you don't have your history book, I want you to pause your video and go grab your history book and open up to page 220. Now that you have your history book, we are going to look at page 220 where it shows a picture of David Crockett and Sam Houston. Look at their timeline of events, okay, and what was going on during their life. As you're looking, here are some words that we will talk about today: folk hero, frolic, Creek War, and representative. Okay? Now, as you can see on page 221, there is a little song or a ballad of a song about Davy Crockett. Now, I'm going to play it for you, and you can try and sing along with it with the words from your book, just the first part. So listen carefully. Hopefully you were able to sing along. If you haven't figured it out, we're talking about Davy Crockett. Now, he was born not actually on a mountaintop, but he was born in Tennessee in 1786. And because of the things he did in his life were very important, he became a hero or a legend that we still talk about today. Now, his parents were pioneers. Remember, we learned about pioneers back when we were talking about the people coming from England into the New World. So his parents were pioneers, which means they worked for everything that they did in their life. They worked from sunrise to sunset. Now, it was very common for them to have guns and go hunting for the things that they needed for their families. Now, as Davy Crockett was growing up, he was able to get his own gun, and he named that gun and all the other guns that he got after his favorite sister, and he called them Old Betsy. So whenever he had a gun, he called it Old Betsy. Now, whenever a farmer needed a new barn, and the people that lived around him would all gather together and help them raise or barn raise a new barn for that person. When it was done, they would have a party, which was also called a frolic. They would eat, they would have a good time because they gathered together and were able to build something for one of their neighbors. Now, at one of these frolics or parties, Davy Crockett met his future wife, Polly. Now, he was an excellent woodsman and he had a great sense of what he should do. Now, there was something called the Creek War, where this was part of the War of 1812. His job in the Creek War was to find the Indians towards them to fight them, and he was to warn them against the attack. Now, he would take his Old Betsy into the woods and bring back deer and feed the hungry troops that were in the war. He also spent his money to buy blankets for the troops so that they wouldn't get too cold. The Creek Indians finally lost the war and also lost a lot of their land. So, trouble at home, his wife Polly actually ended up becoming sick and died, which left him with their three small children. Later, Davy Crockett was able to marry again and was able to move and raise his family with his new wife. Now that we've learned about what Davy Crockett did, let's learn a little bit more. I want you to look at page 224, and there's another ballad in the song. I want you to try and sing along as I play the song for you.
He went off to Congress and served a spell, fixing up the government and laws as well. Took over Washington, so we hear tell, he matched up the crack in the Liberty Bell. Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier.
All right, so Davy Crockett actually was liked by a lot of the people he was around. And because of that, they chose him to be a representative for the state of Tennessee in Washington, D.C. Now, his first 2 years on the job as a representative, he was learning everything that he needed to know about being on the Congress or being a representative. Now, before his term was over, he was able to make a difference. He wasn't literally able to patch up the Liberty Bell, but he was known for standing up and defending the Constitution. Now, I want you to read in your history book on your own pages 220 to 224. Then I want you to find some questions just to check your understanding on Google Classroom about Davy or David Crockett. Happy studying.